Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Skyrim Special Edition Anniversary Edition 2024 Samsung Smart Fridge Remaster. Yep, that's probably the version we're on. Now I love playing Skyrim, and by playing Skyrim I of course mean abusing the game and destroying the balance that a normal video game has. You see, in a regular video game when you fight a boss, it's challenging. Defeating enemies might require strategy, and you've got to spend time building your perfect character. Yes, that's how they wanted you to play Skyrim. But no, I prefer to destroy the game by becoming an immortal god, creating paralysis potions that last 25 real-world hours, and designing a fork so powerful it can burn a hole through the sun. Today we're going to push the game to a new extreme. We'll be creating an absolute beast of a character with the ability to swing a sword faster than the speed of sound. And best of all, it's going to be incredibly easy to pull off. So get comfortable, pour yourself a cup of tea, give the video a like, and let the chaos begin. Say hello to Mr. Beast, our vessel for today. He's a lovely orc beastie who knows only one thing: swinging. Okay, that sounds bad. Okay, look, he is really good at swinging a sword, and that means that whilst we are playing on a high difficulty today, we're still able to cut through these early level bandits like butter. Oh, lovely and simple. But before we get all cock-a-hoop, this is hardly enough to defeat something like the Ebony Warrior. So first things first, how do you swing a sword faster? Well, the easiest way is to level one-handed and grab dual flurry, but it's still not enough to break the game. So let's quickly go and pick up the most broken weapon of the base game that for some reason the developers still haven't patched after over a decade. Firstly, we need to kill a kind old lady in Riften to join the Dark Brotherhood, then speed through all of those quests until the real Emperor arrives in Skyrim, on of course his lovely palatial boat. So here we are down on the docks near the boat, dressed as a wonderful jester chef. Also standing nearby to us is the head of the Empire's Secret Service, Commander Maro, and he's a little bit angry at us for framing and killing his son, so we'll go say hi to him after we pick up our prize. We're not here to actually kill the Emperor, we're just here for a weapon, so after boarding the boat we want to run past all of these overpowered guards and make our way to the bow of the boat, where right at the top of this long pole we have a sword called Wind Shear. Now Wind Shear might seem like a pretty mediocre weapon, only doing 20 damage, but it has some unique properties. For example, an enchantment that gives you a 33% chance to paralyze enemies on a bash. This is pretty good, but the true perk is actually just a bug that was left in by the developers. You see, when creating this weapon, some poor intern at Bethesda made it so that with each swing of this weapon there is a 100% chance to stagger the target for just 1 second. This might not seem too bad until you realize they allowed it to stagger everything from humans to giants, meaning that provided you can hit your target every second, you will be able to stun lock enemies. We will now demonstrate this by running back to our Secret Service friend from earlier and fighting him. Now we haven't picked up any of the perks that increase our swing speed, but there is something cheesy you can do. You see, in Skyrim different weapons have different swing speeds, with daggers of course being the fastest and great weapons being the slowest. But the game interestingly takes the left-handed weapon to be your base attack speed, meaning that the sword in my right hand is able to swing 30% faster provided I'm able to have a dagger in my left hand. And that would be the case right now if I'd actually remembered that the Blade of Woe is another bugged weapon that actually swings even slower than a sword. So yes, we're actually attacking below the base attack speed of Wind Shear right now. Cheers, developers. Still, despite this setback, we're able to easily stun Maro into submission, meaning we will take absolutely no damage and make a potentially challenging fight an absolute walk in the park. Now I do feel more powerful, so let's attack a Solitude Guard to get a better feel for my abilities. We can of course attack with our other weapon, the Blade of Woe, and it does do more damage, but unfortunately the enemy is not stunned, so they can immediately swing back and do lots of damage. This is terrible, so yes, we will instead just be swinging with the Wind Shear over and over again, and job done, the fight is rather easy. But how do we go faster? Well, if we pick up the Dual Flurry perk in the one-handed tree, we get an extra 20% attack speed. This stacks on top of having a dagger in our left hand, meaning that we now have a swing speed increase of 56%. So for every 2 attacks you could be doing, I'm going to be doing 3. It's good and very beastly considering the stun lock power, but I'm a god of Skyrim, so yes, we're going to be taking this further. So we've made our way to Riften, and we're in the Rat Way, where all of the rats hang out. Okay, well, maybe not the rats, but in the very least, I detect French people in here. Look, they have a baguette. And they'll be hiding some fromage somewhere as well. I can sense it. But yes, once here, we will make our way inside the Guardian Vault, where I will be able to find myself a lovely little note. So yes, this is the Guardian Vault. It's pretty spicy. There's, you know, a bit of excitement. There's a floaty sword of death in the middle. Now, of course, I can't really activate the barrier to get this weapon, so I must follow our ghost friend down these steps, and I get to witness whatever this is. So yes, I have to defeat the Guardian, who, as you can imagine, they're going to be a pretty dangerous enemy, and I'm pretty low level, so yeah, I shouldn't be able to do this. Luckily for me, however, I can just do the age-old stun lock and bash approach using the wonderful wind shear, and this means that the Guardian is physically unable to respond. Easy peasy, squeeze the lemon. So that is one chamber cleared out. I must now go and clear out a different chamber. Alright, so here we go. Once again, I must fight a Guardian. In fact, this is a Guardian and a Flame Atronak as well. Not very fun. Luckily, first Guardian, very easy to defeat. Job done. Now, let me steal your note. Here we go. So my next mission is to go and investigate Faldar's tooth. So yes, back into the main chamber we go. What a lovely success. I can now retrieve this fancy sword. It's Duskfang. It's a pretty expensive sword, but that doesn't mean I'm going to use it. Now, instead, we're going to go for the other weapon that this questline has. And I'm guessing it's another weapon that basically no one has found, and even if they have, no one has used it because no one has understood its actual power. So yes, we take the mission to investigate Faldar's tooth, which is located just over here. Right, fantastic. I've made my way to Faldar's tooth, and oh my, they've unleashed the dogs on me. Wow. Spooky, I know. Right, we've made our way inside to Faldar's tooth, and we know to go here because we've read a note, and then whilst we're here, we're going to find another note, and that's going to tell us to go to a different location. Yep, this is peak gameplay quest design. Right, hello there, bandit. Bonk. You're stunned, then hit, and you're dead. Now, that's combat. Ah, here we go. We found the dog fighting ring. I know, incredible. There are multiple bandits here, which is pretty dangerous, but they are only bandits. So, yeah, I just basically need to run at them, knock them, and then they're down. Right, and then once we've made our way to here, we will find ourselves the lovely Cage Bandit note, as well as a bunch of other jazzy stuff. But the Cage Bandit note is going to tell us to go to a different cave entirely. So it's off we go to continue our adventure. Right, so I've made my way to the cave, where naturally there's a bunch of vampires. Vampires, pretty spooky. These guys are really high level in terms of like actual damage they can do. But being able to stun people, generally speaking, solves most of the problems. Right, down into the cave system we go. We've got some more vampires to fight. Hello, you're a master vampire. So yeah, you're actually incredibly hard to kill, but unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get an attack off as you're just going to be stun locked. And there we go. That's basically this entire questline complete now with one of the most anticlimactic boss fights ever, because over here in this chest is Bloodthirst. Here we go. Quite a spicy boy indeed. Now, don't get me wrong, this might seem like an even better weapon. It's got an incredibly high base damage, it absorbs 15 points of health, but most interestingly, it increases speed by 7%. So what we can now do is equip Bloodthirst in our left hand and switch Wind Shear over to our right hand, and this is actually going to have the speed boost effect of Bloodthirst target Wind Shear. This is because when the designers added the enchantment to Bloodthirst, it just improves the attack speed of your weapon, and Skyrim prioritizes your right-handed weapon over your left-handed weapon. This means that Wind Shear now attacks much faster than previously, as you can see. Now, if you remember, every time I swing with Wind Shear, that is a stunning attack, you can see the issue. But here's the thing, normally when you have stagger on weapons in games, they are set to be believable. And by that I mean, you can stagger a human being, you can stagger a wolf, but would you be able to stagger something larger, like say, an entire woolly mammoth or a giant? There is no way that my tiny sword is able to stagger a woolly mammoth, and yet it can. Don't ask me why the developers decided to let this be in the game, but they did, and the resulting effect means that I'm going to be able to stand here, and it is impossible for a response to be had. Oh, one mammoth attack actually actually just went off, and a second one. Now, of course, our attack against the mammoth and giants, they're okay. They're not doing the best, but you might finally be asking yourself, Spiff, why on earth did you choose to make Mr. Beast an orc? And it's because they have the most overpowered power. Berserker Rage. You take half damage and do double damage for 60 seconds. So I will activate it and then just bonk this mammoth into oblivion. I bonked it so hard, it's ceased existing, which is quite impressive indeed. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So yes, I'm just going to bonk this mammoth over and over again so that it can't respond. That's the mammoth dealt with, and now we just stun lock the giant. Sorry, Mr. Giant, you are never going to respond. Perfectly balanced. And there we go, they're all dead now. Now, of course, we are rather darn powerful. However, we could be doing oh so much better. For example, we can actually attack faster if we were to level up our one-handed skill and upgrade the dual flurry ability. In order to do that, we would need level 50 in one-handed, and that will take a lot of time. Alternatively, I am a very dastardly and devilish British individual, and that means we shall be cheesing this instead. The way in which we're going to do this is by making a decent bit of money. Now, of course, having 3,000 gold in the bank is pretty good, but Adriana here has 1,161. But what we're going to do is steal all of her inventory. We're going to do that by selling an item, then pressing E to go inside of Adriana's own inventory, and now that we're inside of her own inventory, we can actually sell her own items, like say this orcish battle axe. This is in her inventory, but if I click on it to sell it, you'll notice that interestingly, she is losing money and I am gaining money. This is because for some reason she has chosen to pay me so that I can sell her an item she already has. Truly incredible. Anyway, now that we have some money, I should be able to go find myself a trainer. And here we go, we found Amron. Now Amron is hopefully going to be able to train us in one-handed. So by giving him some of the money that I very deservedly stole from a shopkeeper, he is going to train us up to level 50. Unfortunately, that is the cap of what he can teach us. But that's not bad, because we can now dual wield even faster. And I can pick up savage strikes so that my standing power attacks have a chance to decapitate my opponents. This has now meant that effectively my attack speed is even faster than it was previously, and I can, instead of running around the map, just power attack my way across Skyrim. So there we go, my attack speed has increased a bit, all thanks to some financial shenanigans, but realistically we need more. In order to get more, that means we actually need to do a little bit of the quest line, because I need to learn how to shout. So that means one quick visit to Bleak Falls Barrow. Right, okay, so I've made it to the end of Bleak Falls Barrow. I have to, of course, pick up the first word of Fusro Dar, and then here comes the enemy. Oh my goodness, it's a Draugr Overlord. However, will we defeat them? Of course, they're gonna Fus me, and then I'm just going to stun lock them. And then just swing over and over again until eventually they are defeated and dead. Well, that was easy. Now we can start fighting dragons and absorbing their power. Right, so we now get the opportunity to fight our first dragon. This is of course going to go quite nicely for us, because as I mentioned, our weapon has a 100% chance to stun, and that is stun everything, including dragons. Yep, whichever intern decided to write that piece of code definitely knew what they were doing. So where comes the dragon? Here comes Mr. Dragon. Now of course, this is an incredibly high health and dangerous enemy. It can breathe fire. It can one-hit me. But what it cannot possibly expect is the fact that I am able to stun lock it. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep repeatedly hitting it over and over again. And it is unable to do anything. It cannot fly away. It cannot attack. It can only die. And there we go! Quite possibly one of the fastest, easiest dragon murders I've ever accomplished. So there we go, first dragon murdered. So now all I need to do is cheese. So I've made my way to the first word wall that I actually need in order to become horrifically overpowered. The only problem is it is defended by a Hagraven. Hagravens are terrifyingly dangerous enemies if they're able to fight back. Unfortunately, they are not. So time to go absorb the word. Yum, 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 yum. Brilliant, that is the first word learned. Right, I've made my way all the way over to the wonderful Shriekwind Overlook near Falkreath, where I must, of course, fight a bunch of evil enemies in one-on-one combat, and then, yes, pick up this lovely word of power. Yum, 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 yum. So we've now picked up 2 words of the Elemental Fury. Now we just need to go for the 5th and final. My next word wall is over here, located inside everyone's favorite quest line, the Beacon quest, whereby you get shouted at by an angry woman and get handed genuinely one of the worst weapons in the game, especially relative to the amount of effort you have to put in to get it. Right, come on Lydia, catch up, we've got a quest to do. And yes, quite literally next to the most annoying quest line in the game is the final word wall, which we have of course absorbed, meaning we now know all of the words for Elemental Fury. The only issue is Dragon Souls are required for unlocking this, and I don't have any Dragon Souls, so let's go find ourselves some. Just crashed my game. Right, so I've killed 3 dragons in order to max out the wonderful Elemental Fury shout. But if you're a veteran of Skyrim, you're going to be saying, Spiff, this is a terrible idea, because Elemental Fury doesn't work on weapons that have enchantments, and technically both Bloodthirst and Wind Shear have enchantments, meaning if I try and do my shout, it says no, your current weapon is enchanted, go away. So you might think, well, logically we can get around this by unequipping our weapons and then shouting, but no, you must have a weapon drawn. That's right, the developers have thought of everything. There is no way to cheese the attack speed further. However, there is of course a workaround, there always is. Step 1 is to equip a bow. Then, once we have our bow equipped, we can do our big shout. This has increased our attack speed by 100%. We then unequip the bow, and this will auto-equip our 2 wonderful dual-wielding attacks. We will now pull out our dual-wielding attacks, and we can now attack for the fastest speed the game has ever seen. Every time I click, I will attack, and there is physically no way for me to increase this attack speed further. This is scientifically the fastest the game can handle. Truly incredible. But the reason why the attack speed is so screwed is actually relatively simple. All of the attack modifiers are cumulative, meaning a percentage increase affects all previous percentage increases. In some games, if you were to have, say, a plus 50% attack speed and a plus 50% attack speed, it might just go, okay, you get plus 100%. But no, in this game, everything is multiplying each other. This is why the attack speed can get so crazy, and we can go from having a one-handed sword that is meant to be attacking like this, to a one-handed weapon that can instead attack like this, and then finally this insane thing of whatever this nonsense is. I mean, literally just look at me, I'm like some kind of Beyblade. Sorry Lydia, look, I can just carve you up into tiny pieces. It's so stupid. I'm sorry Lydia, apologies. So I guess now all that's left is to test this ability out on the most powerful enemy in the game, the Ebony Warrior. So here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Ebony Warrior, one of the greatest and most deadly threats in all of the Elder Scrolls. This man has done it all. Truly one of the greatest warriors. And unfortunately today he is going to die, via a series of unfortunate and silly events. Step 1, I'm going to activate my Berserker Rage. This means I do double damage and take half damage for 60 seconds. Then I'm going to equip Elemental Fury, and then do a full shout of that. Then equip my weapons correctly, like so, and goodbye Mr. Ebony Warrior, farewell. Oh my goodness, I'm like just the speediest boy in the universe. Unfortunately, the Ebony Warrior still just evaporated me. I guess I need to do this away from the Whiterun guards so that they don't get involved. Okay, here we go. No guards in sight. No one's going to disturb me and the Ebony Warrior. We can get down to business. So yes, I'm going to do my shout, equip my weapons like so, and get to work stabbing the Ebony Warrior. There we go. Oh my goodness, he was able to do the shout. Yes, he was able to drain my health somehow, but unfortunately, oh my goodness, he was still able to get a shout off. This man. Okay, this Ebony Warrior guy may be currently too powerful for me. I suppose I could improve my chances by actually wearing armor, but no. You so are powerful, and I need to get more powerful. I think I need to improve my one-handed skill. That means I need to cheese more money and find myself a better one-handed trainer. Anyway, yes, I've given up on attacking the Ebony Warrior. My reasoning is quite simple. Because of the Ebony Warrior's perks, he has a 10% chance every time you hit him to reflect an attack back at you. This, of course, means that as I am attacking incredibly quickly, I am basically always getting hit with my own attack, meaning that he is the one perfect enemy for defeating me. The Emperor of Skyrim, however, I don't think he's quite as resistant. So, yes, we're just going to murder him. So we're going to make our way through all of this and make my way towards the Emperor. Right, we're just going to, there we go, give you a knock and there you go, you're down. And then give you 2 knocks and you're also dead. Splendid. Oh, hello there. Let me just do a power attack, friend. Oh, you're dead. And... no, oh, it landed in the bucket. It landed in the bucket. I've never had that in Skyrim. That's incredible, Todd. Right, where's the Emperor? Right, I guess up I go a little bit more. There's the Emperor's quarters there. I do believe, yes, we just simply unlock it and we go say hello to the Emperor. No, I haven't come this far just to stand talking. You're right. Okay, Emperor friend, let me just quickly deal with you. There we go. Thank you for your key. Ooh, I can steal the Emperor's clothes. Oh, why not? Oh, we are going to look very groovy indeed. Look at me! Oh, we're so swanky. Up onto the deck we go. And we should have some enemies here. Hello there, Mr. Sailor. You're dead. Oh, who's setting me on fire? Oh, you. Right, sorry, you're dead. Oh, and then I guess there is you. Wabam. Who's left? 2 more enemies. Right, bonk, bonk, bonk. And then our final friend. Oh, goodbye, sir. Splendid. Well, I mean, we've pretty much cleared out the entire ship. Not bad at all. Right, okay, we've got the Ebony Warrior still standing here. And I think I kind of want to give him another try. You know what, let's just do a big power attack and see what we can do. I mean, of course, if you notice my health bar, it is slowly dwindling down and down and down. There's not much I can do here other than occasionally heal. But yes, we're going to keep him stun locked. Oh no, he just cast some nonsense. Come on, yes, we might have this actually. Lydia is almost dead, but that's okay. She's the sacrifice that we must have in our universe. But now that Lydia is completely dead, we can continually work on the Ebony Warrior. Have another health potion. There we go. Yes, keep him knocked down. Yes, Mr. Ebony Warrior, you thought you'd be able to best me. But no, I can cheese beyond your wildest imaginations. Yes. Ah, we did it. We might not be level 80. We might just have a very overpowered sword. But with only the cost of poor little old Lydia here, who probably was murdered by me in my swinging chaos, we have managed to best the Ebony Warrior. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have once again proven that Skyrim is indeed a perfectly balanced game with absolutely no exploits whatsoever. If you enjoyed today's video, then make sure to give it a like, and why not hop on down into the comment section and tell me what game you'd like to see me exploit next. Just like that weird glitched out cow in the background, I'll see you in the next one. Have a lovely day, and goodbye for now.